Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to a quick question with High Media TV and Evan from High Media TV and PT Sean. And today we got a quick question for you, Sean. What is our question?
So, can Steam make a successful gaming console? I been aware of this just like I guess earlier this week, and the console looks nice. It looks actually very nice, and just just imagine because like how powerful the system is. They got the handheld, they got the VR. It looks pretty good. Have you seen it?
I have. I covered it on High Media Headlines the other day, and I talked about it on the other podcasts I do with friend of the show, That One Black Guy, over on Why Does This Keep Happening? And one of the things we found out while we were researching was um, so, for context, the Steam Deck, the one you can get right now, uh, is basically has the equivalent, has 16 gigs of RAM, and its graphic card is the equivalent of a 1050 NVIDIA 1050 GTX.
Nice.
And they said that the Steam machine, or the Gabe Cube, as we like to call it, funnily, is going to be 6 times as powerful as the current Steam Deck. So
It's going to be amazing.
it is, and here's the other thing about it too. This Steam machine is also a fully functional computer in terms of like you got to put peripherals in it, but it can function as a computer. That's
I
the other
know you
thing.
can
That
mod it. I know it's mod friendly.
it no. The reason it's like software mod friendly is because it's a Linux PC. Like you can boot it into, you can have hit a button, you can hit a thing on the side panel, have it boot in desktop mode, and you can just use it like a computer if you have a keyboard and mouse and a monitor. The Steam Deck is very physically moddable. The I don't know. I mean, I don't know how much you're going to want to be able to mod the Steam machine. I know that they're having I believe SD cards as the main way of like having expanding memory. Um, but regardless, I do think, broadly speaking, that I think that this is a logical kind of like conclusion of what they're doing. Like they're doing like this. I think is going to be a market for uh PCs, like gaming PCs that you primarily play PC games with controllers and stuff. And I think this is just them creating that market similar to how they created the market with the Steam Deck. I also think, though, that this is also going to be a continuation of what I said initially in High Media Headlines years and years ago, when I was talking about the Steam Deck coming out originally, and that what in the aftermath of it coming out was this is going to set a hardware standard, and this is going to make Linux gaming much more ubiquitous than it already is. I mean, Linux gaming is something like, I think, was 1% of game. Oh, like one, like was like one was like 10, like was like a tenth of a percent. Um, back in like before 2020. Now it's doubled year on year, and now it's like 0.5%, or if not close to 8% of all gaming, you know, operating systems. Now, granted, Mac is still at 3. It's still at something like 2.5, 3%, and Microsoft is literally like Microsoft Windows is literally something like 96%. So it's like kind of a drop in a bucket in that regard. But all like I think that like the days of like people using like plug and play Steam is not that's not going to be where people are going to be using it. Where they're going to be using it is going to be on like prefabbed machines like the Steam machine. Now, this kind of intersects to what I have always kind of thought that Microsoft's current bet is doing. They realized they lost the console wars. They have lost 2 console generations in a row to PlayStation, and I don't think that they think, and I think that they've had their entire generations of kids there's multiple like there's entire generations of kids who have like grown up with video games during these two console generations and are just completely enamored and ingrained in the PlayStation system. There is nothing that they can do to like they can the Xbox, like they've lost a generation to PlayStation. Like that there's just they're probably going to put one more console generation out and then that'll be it. I think what they've been and what I kind of see them doing is very much but like the focus on Game Pass, the focus on things like the ROG Ally, very much trying to they I don't think that they view Sony and Nintendo as their competition anymore. I think they view Steam as their main competition.
Microsoft,
Mm-hmm.
I can see that. They did say they want to make it more like PC based.
Mm-hmm.
Good luck with that.
I think I think fundamentally they're leaning more into the software as a service. I think they want to like put the Xbox app on like every platform they can and then have their store and Game Pass be available everywhere and like do that kind of stuff. A lot of the wins that the Epic Game Store has done against people like Apple and Google in terms of like antitrust on platforms kind of helps them in that regard because then they can kind of like force people like Sony's hands to put the Xbox app on their stuff and with things like Xbox Cloud Gaming and things of that nature like there's options I think as far as Microsoft is concerned. The problem is that with Valve releasing this new library of gaming machines, specifically the Steam machine, which is most likely going to be priced somewhere between $800 and $1,000. Basically, not only giving you a you know solid gaming PC for an affordable price, it's also formatted explicitly for couch gaming and this all and the nature of Steam being Steam and having all these great services that don't get me wrong, the Xbox app is fine, it has fine services. Game Pass before it went to $30 was a great deal, but honestly at this point like having Steam like I think that is going to be anybody that looks at that and is like, hey, I can buy either like the PS6 when it comes out in 5 years is going to be $1,000 I can either buy a PlayStation or I can buy a Steam machine and get a computer, an actual computer for the price of one.
Think the PS6 is gonna be $1,000?
Mm-hmm. I've heard rumblings like you've seen like the PS5 Pro upgrade was like what $800, something like that. It's especially after a lot of the
They're going to level with it. I don't. I don't think that's gonna be a smart move. That's gonna be like a PlayStation 3 overpriced situation. You feel me?
here's the thing
So
like
that was the biggest thing was wrong. Actually, that was one of the biggest thing was wrong with the PS3.
well no but here's the difference though like at that point Microsoft had the Xbox 360 which and Xbox 360 won that generation. I mean, technically, the Wii won that generation, but nobody. But like, if we're just talking about those two, the point is that at the point the PS6 comes out, you're going to have people who are voting age, who have probably never touched, and most of their friends have never touched an Xbox in their life.
You, you're you're actually right.
You're going
I
to, by
mean,
the time the PS6 comes out, there are going to be people who there is no other alternative. It is just going to be you get a PlayStation. You get a PlayStation. You get a PlayStation or you get a PC. Those are the options.
you think this gonna affect the Wii sales?
You mean the Nintendo? Nintendo's ability to have like people have like Nintendo's has never been a factor here, and the reason why is that both Sony and Microsoft and the customer bases of video gamers as generally will have a Xbox or a Switch or a PlayStation and a Switch or a PC and a Switch. Like like Nintendo consoles have always, like, especially with the advent of the Switch being a mobile console as well, um is very much it is agnostic to like people's preferences in that regard, because then you're not playing Call of Duty on a Switch, you're not playing Assassin's Creed. I mean, some of them are on it and you can play them, but you play the Switch because you want like to play proprietary Nintendo games that are unavailable on any other platform. That's it. And if you don't care about any Nintendo games, you don't get a Switch.
I think Nintendo's is in a good spot right now, especially with their movies. I really hope they expand the movies to like their other projects. A Metroid movie will be amazing.
I think Nintendo has always been like, their business culture has always been like 10 years behind everybody else. You know what I mean? Like when the advent of like DLC and subscription models were coming out, and or like initially, like this was like circa like 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015. They were still they're still culturally in like 03, where like they were like, we're gonna make a good game, we're gonna ship a good game, and then if it doesn't, and then we're just never gonna touch it again. They're like, we're going to make a good game and sell it off the back of that. And that was great because Nintendo offered like, what people wanted in an age where people were just like drowning. And then like 20, I don't know, like, and then like, the 2020s come around, and like they're like, okay, well, we're, instead of selling you another copy of like these games and sell it in like, and just like remaking the entire game and like adding a bunch of extra stuff to it like a director's cut edition, we're just going to sell you for cheaper the content that we were going to sell you an entire game for anyways, but it's going to be at a reduced price and you get to keep your save file. And we were like, okay, great, like that's a effective use of DLC there, like that makes sense, like the model of having to buy you know Pokemon Emerald or Pokemon Platinum to get like all of the new content was kind of irritating. Fine. But now they've kind of caught up to where everybody was in like 2015, 2016, 2017, which was, we're going to do anti-consumer stuff to pad our bottom line. And now Nintendo has kind of gotten like the shitty where like EA and the rest of them are, and it sucks because like I always knew that they were going to eventually get to this point. It was a matter of time, but like it still doesn't help.
Yeah, yeah, it's damn you doing thing you don't buy Nintendo, cause they had to take advantage of that. It's right there. But yeah, well, I mean, with the prices and everything, I say if the Steam machine is cheap, the console war is over. It will be some fanboys with different companies and everything, but like if they release the Steam machine like for like $600, which I don't think they do. For
No,
the lease, it will be $800 for the lease.
no.
But
I
like if
think
they
the
will
reason I
release
say 1,000, the reason I say like 800 to 1,000 is because I'm trying to square like two facts. One, like the Steam Deck is like really like I think Valve has done a really good job at getting like really high quality, high performance components um on the cheap, while also simultaneously, being able to like, cuz here's the thing. All of the Steam like library of like hardware, all like the Steam Decks, every single Steam Deck they sell turns a profit. Not a huge profit, but a profit nonetheless.
I think I'm on the floor right now.
They're not losing money on Steam Decks, right? And so and so you know, the big thing that with the Steam Deck, right, is that you have to like format this thing to be mobile. It has to have a larger battery pack. It has to have a screen attached to it. It has, in some cases, even OLED. And with the Steam machine in question, like the desktop version, like it doesn't have any of that. It's just internal components. And so, like, I wonder, like, first of all, it's going to be 6 times as powerful, so obviously the components are going to be more expensive. But also, you're not having a screen, you're not having to jury rig buttons or haptic feedback. You don't have to like have a giant like battery pack for like extended play. So I think that I think like it's gonna be a little bit more. It's gonna be more expensive than like a Steam Deck, but I do also think that it's going to be not. I think that like $800 to $1,000 is probably going to be the area, maybe 1,200, because like you're competing with, you know they said that they wanted it to be comparable in price to like a custom built like PC that you buy the parts for cheap for yourself. So
That does sound like $800 ish, actually. Custom PC, yeah. Mm-hmm.
now, granted, custom PCs aren't just costing you $800 anymore. It is not cheap to get a PC, but I do think that you know, I think I'm excited for it. And depending on the strength of it, I might get one specifically so I can use it as like have a dual PC stream setup.
Wait. You talking about the what you call it, the Steam system, or are you talking about a different PC?
I'm talking about the Steam machine.
Oh, okay, cool.
Like I would love it if I could have a little dinky PC like that I don't really have to like worry about setting up too much, that I can literally just turn on whenever I want to go live stream. And you know and basically if I want to stream, like I can have one computer there where all the processing power is used for the game, and the other one where all the processing power is just used for the stream.
No pun intended. It streamlines it.
Quite literally.
Yeah, that's very good. I think like even if they overprice it, they still gonna sell a lot, no matter what. Cause like it's like Valve and Steam, they're about their stuff. They hardly disappoint when they like bring stuff out like this, because they know what doing it, and they take a lot of time, a lot of money, and a lot of care. Their I guess technology and their storefront. The only thing I say they missed the border with was Steam Greenlight. I haven't even experienced that, but I hear so many horror stories with that.
it it
But
the Steam Greenlight, it it was a whole thing. And honestly, like it's the new system they have is not much better. You just pay $100 and you can put your game up on Steam. I don't know.
I think it's gonna be a game changer. It's gonna be the next generation of the console wars.
It will,
I
but
don't think
here's the great
any
thing.
of the systems will like survive Valve in their money and their knowledge of the game sphere.
Hmm.
Yeah, like they got a lot of pull. Like I don't even like playing games off my laptop, but like it's a must with some of the games on there.
Yeah. I think ultimately Steam is not going to be competing. I think Steam is not going to be competing with Microsoft. I mean, they are competing with Microsoft because Microsoft is coming into their space. But what I mean by that is
It's like vice versa.
I don't think
Like yeah,
Steam cares. I don't think Valve cares in the slightest about competing, because like they are a private company, that is worth billions of dollars. They don't need to care about anybody except their employees and their bottom line.
I think Steam is in a great place with money wise, reputation wise, and everything. Like
If the Steam machine
they
is
hold
a,
in high guard.
if the Steam machine is a good experience, do you feel like you'll probably end up playing that more if you get one than your PlayStation?
Well, as you know, I never why I haven't ordered no recent um systems. So if somebody gift it to me, yes. I do have like a lot of systems that it's just collecting dust. Like I got the OG Switch, of course that collecting dust. I got I got a VR headset. I think it's an Oculus. Um and I have uh I got a portable. The only thing I really play with my PlayStation and my portable. But I don't know. I don't know. It is gonna make a lot of stuff easy for me if I want to like play a game that's not available on PlayStation.
Mm-hmm. Yar har
Yeah,
fiddly dee, being a pirate is alright to me. Yar har fiddly dee, you are a pirate.
yeah, I'm really curious how this gonna turn out. I know at least they gonna make money no matter what happens,
Yeah,
unless some like bad PR stunt happen, which is very possible. It is 2025. A lot of stupid stuff happens for no reason. Borderland 4. What the heck is that? But yeah, I don't know. Like I think I think it's good. I think it's very good for competition because you don't want Sony to get too big headed. Even though Valve is not going to be competing with them, but Sony is going to be competing with them.
exactly. Cause like
So,
Valve, like their base is solid. Like Valve's
oh yeah,
base is solid. Like they make 70% off of something like 80% off of like 90% of all. So they make 30% off of 70 off of something like 80 to 90% of every single PC game purchase outside of China.
okay, okay.
They're fine financially. So
Very, very.
so yeah, ultimately I think that's anything else you want to yik yak
Even if
about
the
before we
sale,
wrap up for the day? Sean,
I think it was one game I'm thinking of right now.
what's that?
Hmm. Um. Oh yeah, the PlayStation Store is trash, bro. So like me and my friend Keenan. So
Go
like
for it.
so so I don't know why I should have said something, but he was so passionate at getting this game. It was the back room something multiplayer, dude. Oh my goodness, bro. Soon I looked at the photos. I'm like, yo, this looks like a scam game. And so we ordered, and it's supposed to be like multiplayer, and we couldn't even connect to each other. It
Mm-hmm.
was the connection. It was the combined effort of my Wi-Fi and the fact that the game is also a scam game. I was like, yo, this game, we couldn't even play it, man. We ended up
That
playing
sucks.
Helldivers after that, but like, yeah,
Yeah, Helldivers is
yo,
fun.
Helldivers
I need to get it.
is so
That is a game you and I could play. Oh, I can I play Helldivers?
yeah, you can.
I play. Well,
It's
no,
cross.
I run on Linux.
Oh, I maybe don't know. I know Helldivers is cross, but I don't know. Yeah, that game, I hit a wall. I hit a like a money wall with the game with the costumes and everything.
Hmm. You got
So that's pretty
greedy.
disappointing. No, 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 no. Like I completed like the what you call it? I forget what they call it. Fortnite got it. When you pay for like a whole thing that you just work for and you unlock stuff. I forget what you call that. Damn, what you call that? Well, it's whatever. Like it's a thing to unlock the costumes and weapons and a lot and 90% of that thing. Well, 99% of that stuff is behind paid stuff. So like right now, I got everything I could get without paying for the game. Now I had to wait a long time or give up the cash to get anything new right now. It sucks. I understand it, but it still sucks though. It's still a good game. I highly recommend it, man. If you somewhere out there still haven't played Helldivers 2, I don't know what's going on with you, man.
It's fun. It's a game that you absolutely should be playing with friends, but it is a fun game.
It's such a fun time, so many ways. But yeah, that should be it.
Yep. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening to this episode of A Quick Question with me, Evan from High Media TV, and PT Sean. If you like this episode, give the video a like, hit the hype button, rate it 5 stars if you're listening on a podcasting platform, and follow regardless. Also, and this is important, Sean has a Discord. It's in my Discord.
What? Oh, okay, cool.
It's in my Discord, and you can find a join link for that down in the description. I swear I gave you a fucking link. Put it in the granted, it's going to be in the description of this because this is going to get sent out to like through RSS to Sean's channel. But I'm also gonna like give him a link to a Discord link so he can like put it in videos and shit so people can join, because it's join the Discord, join Sean's Discord or join mine. It's all the same one regardless. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening to A Quick Question. We appreciate your time and your listenership, and we'll see you guys next time.